Hi, Paul Slackis, Good News Broadcast, Good News Planet. We're going to talk about an itchy, painful, and potentially disfiguring concern living with plaque psoriasis. And I believe Gloria, I'll say hello first because Gloria, I think you've lived with this. Or do you still live with psoriasis?
Unfortunately, yes, I do. The nature of plaque psoriasis is that it can flare up from time to time. And I did have one of my very worst flare-ups about 3 years ago. It's not as bad now.
Uh-huh. Okay, and we have as your doctor with us. Um, oh, jeepers creepers. I can't. There you go, Dr. Linda Stein-Gold. She's the director of dermatology, clinical research at the Henry Ford Health System. And have you been Gloria's doctor or over these years, or are you coming in informing us about new things that can help Gloria?
I'm actually coming in to talk about new things that can help Gloria. I have many psoriasis patients like Gloria. And Gloria suffers from chronic plaque psoriasis, which is as we mentioned, chronic. It can last for decades. It's an inflammatory skin condition. And when you look at the skin, it actually has some thickness, some redness, some really bad scaly plaques that can occur anywhere on the body. It can be on the face, it can be on the body, it can be on the skin folds. And it's actually itchy and painful. And with all this, it actually tends to consume our patients' lives. They end up being depressed and feeling anxious. And it's just, in the past, it's been very difficult to get under control.
And how does it occur? Where does it come from?
You know, we don't have all the answers as to exactly why it happens, but we know it might be inherited. We know that it involves the immune system. And the good news is we have some really great treatment options that are helping patients like Gloria get this under control even better.
Is there any food reasons that something like this might occur to somebody? Eating the wrong types of food or anything like that? Or
you know, we always think about food, but at its core, it's most likely an inflammatory skin condition. And about 9 out of 10 patients treat this with topical medications like topical corticosteroids. And the good news is just recently, the FDA approved actually a new topical treatment. This is called VTAMA, or 1% tapinarof cream, that's brought to us by Dermavant, for whom we're here today. And this is actually a brand new option.
And how do you it's a topical cream, did you say?
Yeah, it is a topical cream. And so what's great about this is that it's not a steroid. It's a non-steroidal cream that you only have to use once a day. And so for patients like Gloria who have the condition on multiple body surface areas, you can actually use this on the face or on the elbows, the knees, the skin folds, and it helps get the psoriasis under control. It was studied extensively in clinical trials. We know that the most common adverse effects that occur are folliculitis, nasopharyngitis, contact dermatitis, headache, itching, and flu. And they've actually set up a website because, as was mentioned, this is the first topical that we've seen in 25 years. So there's a site that's set up called vtama.com where you can go to get a lot more information as well. I'm sorry?
What's
no,
a steroid?
It's not a steroid. So
I know it's not a steroid, but what is a steroid?
What is a steroid? So a steroid is a medication that can either be taken by mouth or for psoriasis patients used topically. And it's an anti-inflammatory topical medication that works well to get psoriasis under control, but there's some issues you have to know about. Topical steroids can lead to some thinning of the skin. It can cause stretch marks. Also, when you put steroids on topically, it can get absorbed and it can have implications systemically as well. So what we often look for are other options besides topical steroids that don't cause thinning of the skin. What's interesting, also, topical steroids can cause some lightening if you have skin of color. It can cause a lightening of the skin, and we don't see that with the non-steroidals.
Gotcha. Okay, Gloria, when did you? How did this all occur for you? Is this something you've had for I heard you say 10 years. So
Right.
you weren't born with it. It came upon later in life, I guess. Even though you look like a young person still. But my question is, how did you recognize that you had this problem?
Okay, so when I was in my early 40s, I developed what ended up being a plaque psoriasis plaque on my left hip, but I also had what ended up being diagnosed later as plaque psoriasis in the fold of skin right under my left breast. At the time, it was very scary because I did not know what it was. I didn't have it earlier in my life. But I do remember now that my dad had on his elbows, there was plaque psoriasis, but nobody ever talked about it. He's since passed away. It was something that was just never mentioned back in those days, I guess. So I believe it's hereditary with me. I got diagnosed after going to a dermatologist because originally my diagnosis was for something else. And I had my general practitioner gave me another type of topical treatment that did not work. So it was misdiagnosed.
Aha. And so are you using this new FDA approved medicine?
Yes, I am very happy to say that I've already got my first prescription of the VTAMA cream. And the lovely part about it is that the prior topical treatments that I had were steroidal, and I could not use them in the places that needed it the most because I did have some on sensitive skin. At one point, I had some on my forehead, which is still considered, your face. So the steroidal ones were not good for me for long-term use. Plus, I'm someone who doesn't like to use medication unnecessarily.
Okay, so you have hope and optimism here,
I
right?
do. I am very optimistic. And
All
having a
right,
support system is so important. People need to love themselves and realize it is not their fault that they've got this.
all right, doctors. I know I asked for about food. Then there's the other one. They call this thing called stress. Is this at all stress related?
With me?
Stress can make it worse, but usually doesn't cause it. But anyway, thanks so much for having us. We really appreciate being able to come on and talk about psoriasis.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Take care.
Thank you.